What's up everyone? This is Pat from Infinite Fitness coming at you guys with another video today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 6 reasons as to why you're having trouble losing fat. Stay tuned everyone, hope you enjoy the video. So, technically I could have labeled this video one reason why you're not losing fat because there's really only one reason as to why anyone would not lose fat. And that's because you're not in a calorie deficit. The only thing that creates weight or fat loss is an energy imbalance. Now what I mean by that is, you burn more calories than you consume and you will see weight loss over time. Now it doesn't matter what diet you follow, this can be done through all methods of dieting. It all comes down to being in a calorie deficit. Many people will try to make things overly complicated and tell you that maybe you're not following the right diet and that's why you're not losing fat. Or maybe your macronutrient breakdown isn't perfect and that's why you're not losing fat. But at the end of the day, the only thing that will create fat loss is a calorie deficit. So that leads me into my next point. The second reason why you're not losing fat is because you're not consistent enough.
Consistency is the key to any fat loss journey. So let's take a typical week for our dieter. Let's say that they decide to track their calories. They follow through with tracking them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. However, Saturday and Sunday they don't track. During those 2 days, they could be completely ruining their calorie deficit and not even knowing. Now, sometimes it doesn't even come down to tracking your calories, sometimes it comes down to just following the plan. Let's say that our dieter decides to stay within his calories Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. However, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday he eats over his calories. He is not going to be in a calorie deficit. Now, let's take an even wider approach to this. Let's say that this dieter makes a plan to follow, and she follows it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday the first week. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday she doesn't. Let's say the second week she falls off a little bit and does not follow it Monday through Thursday, gets back on the wagon Friday and Saturday. Sunday again she does not follow it. The third week in the month she realizes she needs to get serious about her weight loss goals and follows it every day. The last week of the month she follows it 2 days, then skips 2 days, and then follows it the last 3 days. Obviously this month was not very good and can show how inconsistency will ruin your fat loss efforts.
Following a consistent eating plan can sometimes seem tiring, challenging, and monotonous. That's why we recommend following an approach that is sustainable, something that you feel like you could do for the rest of your life. Obviously, you're not going to be dieting for the rest of your life, but we recommend that you include foods that you enjoy. That way, your adherence to the plan is much higher than if you didn't. So, this brings me to point number 3. You may be underreporting your calorie intake.
So, here we have a chart of some very common snack foods that I know a lot of my clients will have throughout the week or have had before they've started a diet. Now, if you look at each of these foods, they are pretty widely consumed. Trail mix, olive oil, peanut butter, chips, nuts. They're all very common foods that you would probably find in your diet week to week. Now, the big thing that people do is they may have these foods throughout the day and not put them into their calorie tracker or not account for the calories in them. Now, trail mix I put at the top because trail mix can be 300 to 500 calories per handful. Olive oil. Let's say you're going to do some cooking and you don't measure the olive oil that you put in the pan. Well, every serving of olive oil is 120 calories. Peanut butter. Let's say you're just going to have a scoop. Well, that scoop is 90 calories. You just want to pick at a few chips throughout the day? Well, that could be another 150 to 220 calories. What about a handful of nuts? Same thing, 140 to 180 calories per serving. It all adds up. Now, underreporting calories doesn't just come from snacking on foods and not tracking them. It also could be a discrepancy between the portion sizing of the food and how much you're actually eating. So obviously, one serving of pasta is 200 calories. One serving of baked potatoes is 160. One 3-ounce portion of salmon is 150 calories. And 3 ounces of sirloin is 207. Now, the big thing here is that if you eat the portion size, you know how much you're having. But if you tend to overeat, that's where calories can get miscounted.
This also leads me into point number 4 for today. And point number 4 is that you're not learning from your mistakes. The simple truth of the matter is that dieting is a lot of trial and error. Yes, there are a lot of dieting apps out there that can give you a certain amount of daily calories that you should hit, but all of our bodies are very different. And sometimes those equations don't work for some people. That's why it is best to learn from your mistakes and play a lot of trial and error throughout your dieting process.
Trial and error is going to be your best friend as a dieter. So let's take our dieter, and let's say that in month 1, he eats 1,700 calories per day and exercises 3 days per week. He might see 1 pound of weight loss over that month. Let's say month 2, he decides that he wants to lose more weight faster. So he drops his calories by 150 per day and increases his activity 1 day per week. Month 2, he ends up losing 4 pounds, much better than the first month. The most simple method that I tell my clients to employ is that if for some reason they aren't losing weight, they need to do one of 2 things or both. They either need to drop their portions, increase their activity, or do both simultaneously to see weight loss. It's a very simple process, but it does require trial and error.
Leads me into point number 5. Point number 5 as to why you may not be losing fat is because you're not active enough. You have to remember that everyone is at a different level of fat loss. Someone who has 100 pounds to lose is going to have to work a lot less hard at the beginning of their journey than they will towards the end. Whereas someone who only wants to lose 10 or 15 pounds and is already slightly lean will have to work much harder. Your level of activity will be based on how aggressive your fat loss goals are and how much weight you need to lose. Over time, you will have to increase your activity unless you want to severely decrease your calories. Increasing your activity also decreases the amount of calories that you'll have to cut out of your diet, because if you can burn more calories, then you're also allowed to eat more calories.
Here we have an example as to how increasing your activity can help you lose fat. Now, let's take our dieter again. He's eating 1,700 calories per day. Now, if you're a male, you know that 1,700 calories per day is a very low amount of food. And let's say that this dieter is working out 2 times per week and he loses no weight in his first month. Well, dropping his calories further might not be a good idea since they're already so low. So what we do is we increase his activity to 6 hours per week. In month 2, he sees 3 pounds of weight loss, and this is a way that you can employ increasing your activity to lose more fat.
So this brings us to our last point of the day. One of the reasons why you may not be losing fat is because the approach that you are taking is not sustainable. Let's say that you had a friend who lost a lot of weight on a fad diet, like the keto diet, or like the Atkins diet, or the paleo diet, or one of the many other diets that exist today. That diet may have worked very well for your friend, but may not work well for you. Let's take an example of the keto diet. Your friend might like really high fat foods and might do very well on a low carb diet. Whereas you might like really high carb foods like potatoes and rice and pasta. And you will not do well cutting those things out of your diet. Now, if you take an approach like this, it may work well in the short term, but over the long term, when you can't sustain it anymore and you start incorporating foods back into your diet that you weren't eating before, it can lead to some fat regain, especially if you don't know what your portion sizing should look like. So our best advice is to choose a method that's sustainable for the long term. Alright guys, that's our video for today. Remember, fat loss is a very simple process, but it is also a very challenging process. As always, stay strong. Feel free to check us out on Facebook and subscribe to our channel. And good luck with all your weight loss and fat loss goals.